This is really cool. Hey, it's Frank Murphy, and we are inside the TMC, the Transportation Management Center at TDOT, the Tennessee Department of Transportation, here along Interstate 40 with Mark Best. And Mark, you're in charge of this whole thing?
Yes, I'm an ITS manager for TDOT.
Now, more initials. ITS is?
Intelligent Transportation System.
And that makes sense because we're looking at all of the cameras focused mostly on the Knoxville area.
Yes, it's part of our SmartWay system here in Region 1. And it consists of our Transportation Management Center here, our help patrols that are out on the road, as well as the ITS devices out in the field, such as cameras and detectors, vehicle detectors.
All right. Now, what's a typical day like here at the TMC? You know, maybe there's a quiet day, or is every day just crazy?
It varies, and we never know what it's going to be. You know, one day on a rainy day it may be very busy, another rainy day not so busy. So there's not a way to really know for sure.
All right, so what's it like when you're sitting here in one of these command chairs, and maybe some of your staff would know what I'm talking about, like Sylvia, or would be watching, or Adam over here, watching the screens, and you start to see somebody skid. You get to see a wreck before it happens. What's that feel like?
We've seen very few wrecks, really. Most of the time they've already occurred, the vehicles are sitting there, but we have been able to see a few. I guess it's kind of a bad feeling because you can't really control, you're seeing it, but you really can't do anything about it just right then.
Yeah. Because that would freak me out, I think.
Yeah. But what we do then is we try to get our help patrol on the way as quick as possible, get them there, try to get the lanes restored. That's our primary responsibility, is to restore lanes to our interstate system.
So that's what you're looking for. When you see on these cameras, you're looking for disabled vehicles, you're looking for accidents and cars off to the side, anything that's obstructing traffic, or is there something else we're looking for?
Primarily that debris in the road, anything that's going to impact the flow of traffic.
So let me boast on you for a second, because I'm somebody who travels a bit, driving mainly from Tennessee up into Kentucky and into Virginia, whether I'm going that way or that way. I got to tell you, when we're coming home, it is an absolute relief to cross over the state border and get back onto Tennessee asphalt, because I got to tell you, just from firsthand experience, it's a more comfortable ride in Tennessee. Why is that?
Well, we feel like we do a good job maintaining our interstate system, and I think it's maybe 75 has been rated by truckers one of the highest ranking interstate for best rides in the country for the last couple of years. So.
Plus, they got Bimbos. You can stop off at Bimbo's Fireworks in Lenore City, and everybody loves that.
That's right, yes.
I mentioned it because one time I saw Deborah Norville being interviewed, and she was talking about how she drives from New York down to Atlanta all the time. And she says she and her family always stop at Bimbo's.
Okay.
Which I don't know if she saw really the humor in that like I do.
Probably not.
All right, Mark Best from TDOT. We're here at the TMC, the Transportation Management Center. And your title again was the I something?
ITS manager.
ITS manager, the ITSM. So that's a lot of words. Let's take a tour around and see some of the cool stuff here at the TMC. This is pretty cool. Mark Best is telling me that you can find this map on the internet. And what's the significance of right now we're looking at all green, but what's the significance of that?
It's a flow map, and it indicates the colors change from green, free flow, to yellow to red when it's a stop condition, pretty much. So what we use it for is the operators will look up at it. If there's a red section, they'll take a camera and look at that location, try to determine what the problem is.
What measures the road speed to determine the green, yellow, red on the map?
We have about 200 vehicle detectors out in the field that provide us speeds and volumes, and then we have a software program that's where the travel times come from as well.
So a vehicle detector is where? Above ground, underground? I don't know.
Above ground. They're mounted on poles, look similar to mailbox. They're white devices, probably 6 inches by a foot long.
All right, this is really amazing stuff. We're here at the TMC, the Transportation Management Center at TDOT alongside Interstate 40. And Adam is looking at different cameras. He's got a map over here. And Adam, this map, which looks like a typical Google or Yahoo map, actually has some significance. What are those dots that I'm seeing?
These are our different help trucks, and will show you exactly where they're located. So then if you find an incident out there, you know which truck in particular to send.
Now, when we got here, you had noticed on one of the cameras up on the big screen some folks who were along the side of the road and had gotten out of their vehicle. So you typed their location into that other screen, and next thing you know, now a help truck is going to be on their way to see what their problem is, right?
Yeah, this is the type of thing we look for. People on the shoulder who obviously need some assistance. Just relay the information to our dispatcher. She then would then relay that information to the appropriate help truck that's in the area.
All right. So now, what are we looking at right now? Let me take a peek. I see. It looks like they're parked on the left side, left shoulder, which I always am worried about. I don't want to be the person on the left shoulder.
Yeah, this is an incident. They're, like you said, on the left shoulder. Help's already been out with them, so then they don't need assistance from our help trucks. But we like to keep an eye on them until they actually clear the shoulder, just to make sure that they can get out of there safely.
All right. Now here's somebody. Now, what's that? I see it's like a bus and then a van behind it. What's that?
We've been out with them as well. That's probably their help. They had someone coming out to pick them up.
So they had a friend come get them, which is what that is. I recognize that interchange. That's by the Walmart.
Yes. So then they'll probably abandon that bus, and we'll set it on a preset, and we'll just keep an eye on it until it clears.
Okay. And by abandon, you mean they'll go get gas or get engine help or whatever it is they're going to need.
Or pile into that white van there and take off.
Oh, all right. Well, great. So that's not blocking traffic. They're way out of the way, so that's going to be a non-issue today. Oh, terrific. All right, well, I appreciate your time, Adam. Thanks for showing us what you do here at the Transportation Management Center.
All right, thank you, sir.
This is amazing. We were inside looking at the cameras inside the Transportation Management Center here at TDOT, the Tennessee Department of Transportation, along Interstate 40. And we saw when an incident occurs, they dispatch one of these trucks, one of these fancy bright yellow trucks, the Highway Incident Response Unit. And David Wortham is one of the supervisors who, I guess you're out driving these trucks. Come on in, David. I want to hear more about what's inside one of these Highway Incident Response Units.
Well, we carry all manner of tools. For quick fixes, we carry all types of traffic control equipment. The trucks are equipped with error boards and signs.
So if you see a disabled vehicle blocking a lane, you've got to get the word to the oncoming traffic to get out of the way.
Yeah, it gives them some advance warning so they can move over. The trucks are equipped with push bumpers on the front so we can relocate a vehicle out of the travel lane.
All right, now say that again. So a push bumper means if I'm stalled and in the way, you can...
Yeah, we can just push you out of the way.
I got to take the brake off first.
Right.
I just want to make sure I got that right. Okay. And when a simple flat or a simple dead battery, what do you do?
Well, we have jacks, and we'll change a flat tire if you have a spare, and we have jumper cables to jump a car off, try to get you off the highway.
What's the cost to me, Joe taxpayer?
0.
What about in a situation where you get wildlife? I see when I'm driving up 81 out of Tennessee into Virginia, it seems like I see a lot more deer up in Virginia than I do in Tennessee. But obviously, you still have to be careful if one runs right in front of you. What do you do?
Well,
You've got push bumpers. You don't have to worry about it. You can push that deer right out of the way. I can't.
Well, yeah, if you strike one, it's going to a deer, even a large dog, will do significant damage to your vehicle. So that just requires, if you're not injured, it just requires a property damage report. But they are hard to avoid. We see a lot of them struck.
Oh boy, whereabouts mostly? In the more rural areas as opposed to town, or I guess what?
More rural. The areas where we cover with these trucks that are common are out on I-140 near the Blount-Knox County line. Deer population seems to be thicker out there than other places.
Okay, so that's coming to and from the airport and getting down to the quiet side of the Smokies. A lot of people take that road to get down through Merville-Alcoa into the Townsend if you wanted to go tubing or do the stuff on that side.
Yes.
All right, just off the TDOT for a second. When you personally, David, are enjoying a vacation, as you obviously have been recently, where do you like to go in the Smokies?
I actually like to go up to the Cosby side of the Smokies, off the 40 Gorge part. I enjoy that part up there. It seems less crowded.
All right, now I think that's what I was thinking of earlier. Is when you're coming in from Cocke County, isn't there a way to? There is a way somehow to get to Gatlinburg and end up by the Food City. How do you do that?
Well, if you get off I-40 at the Cosby exit, it'll just take you. Just follow the signs. It'll take you right to 321 and back down by the Food City.
It's a nice, beautiful rural drive. If you want to beat all the interstate traffic, do that. Watch that Cosby exit, and you'll end up, next thing you know, right in the middle of Gatlinburg. Awesome. Thanks a lot. David Wortham, Supervisor and driver of the Highway Incident Response Unit for TDOT.
Thank you.
All right, we need a dispatch to I-40, mile marker 372. Oh, sorry, I love it so much here at the Transportation Management Center that I work here now. Look at me, wee! Hey, it's Frank Murphy for Smoky Mountain Morning. I'll be on the internet for a while doing this. Oh, hang on a second. We got a disabled vehicle on Interstate 40.